And one hard race it's likely to be. 14 laps, this 125cc class. Front row of the grid, Neil Hodgson, Barry Stanley, Jamie Robinson, Jimmy Brown, Julian Perry. But a great start from the youngest lad out in the field, 16-year-old Jamie Robinson, but he doesn't hit the front first. It's Hodgson, Neil Hodgson, the boy from Burnley in Lancashire, an apprentice builder by trade, but not for long, I think, because he's going to be a full-time road racer. This boy has talent. Hodgson out in front. Great start. He's had some magnificent rides lately. Qualified 17th and won the 125 race. Gruxter, he's just very, very good indeed, but equally impressive. Jamie Robinson, Keith.
Yeah, Jamie Robinson at 16. What a great attitude. I don't like to hear everybody slating the older riders, but of course it's these guys that really our whole British hopes are on. Oh, and who was that? I missed that as he flashed through our screen. Was that Jimmy Brown?
I think that could well have been Jimmy Brown, and he knows better than that. Jimmy Brown taking the graph. Oh, dear, dear. A lot of people having some problems sorting out navigation there.
That was Mick Crick. Mick Crick was also one of those guys that went on straight on at the end of the straight.
Well, Mick Crick's been around a long time as well. So it's the 18-year-old Neil Hodgson leading the 16-year-old Jamie Robinson, and Robinson really is a remarkable success story. Behind him is number 30, Stuart Nichols. Let's not forget some of the old men. Stuart Nichols is a whole 22 years of age. So Hodgson leads the pack. There's the gap between himself and Jamie Robinson. Now, Robinson entered the Motorcycle News Super Team Series last year, Keith, but he was too young even for that competition to start riding until the middle of the year. So his very first race was about 12 months ago. And in 12 months, he's come on from a kid who struggled in the super teams against other youngsters, really making lots of problems, a good off-road motorcyclist, but not too good on the tarmac. Then he blossomed, ironically, when Rob Orme, the senior 125 rider in the Mobile One Team Coleman squad, had that awful crash at Mallory Park. Oh, more navigational problems, and whoever it was went down, Keith. That was a little bit sad there, and they are getting a bit carried away. The only people who appear to be cool are the youngsters. And there's a faller. That's Julian Perry from Stoke Golding, part of the Stoke Golding gang, the Nuneaton Mafia. And it's been a terrible 125 season for poor old Julian Perry, but a great season for this bunch, particularly number 30, Stuart Nichols, who had that marvellous national win at Donington Park when Rob Orme and Alan Patterson legged themselves off. And Stuart Nichols continues to show fine form, but he can't get ahead of this boy, Jamie Robinson.
Yeah, 16 years old though. Absolutely outstanding riding from him. Less than 12 months at it, and look at the man. He's right up there with the national heroes. Remember, the man leading him at the moment, Hodgson, has a wild card Grand Prix entry for the British Grand Prix in just a few weeks' time, and really that is an outstanding achievement from that man as well, and we all wish him great things.
We do indeed. I'm delighted that Neil Hodgson has got his chance, and well, maybe next year it could be Jamie Robinson's chance. And Robinson, under pressure from Stuart Nichols, holds him off, and we keep coming back to how good this youngster is. A big friend, a good friend of Mick Grant and Butch Cartwright and Jamie Whittam, of course, but without Rob Orme here to guide him, to control him. At 16, the pressures must be enormous.
I think at 16, judging by the interview that was off the front of this, he's a fairly confident young man, to say the least. Enjoys his riding, and that's what's going to carry him through in the early stages. He needs lots of help management-wise as he progresses into the Grand Prix, and certainly, undoubtedly, that's where he's headed.
So, Jamie Robinson still holding off Stuart Nichols and Barry Stanley, and Stuart Nichols and Barry Stanley must be wondering what they've got to do to oust this lad, who is to them even a bit of a newcomer. And as I speak, Nichols has done it. Dived inside Jamie Robinson, and Stuart Nichols, who qualified down in 10th place. Lots of problems in practice. And Jamie Robinson went past him as if he was standing still and went too quick into the corner.
Yeah, a bridge too far, or a breaking point too far there for Robinson. Found himself up the slip road, but I don't think it's over yet for him. He certainly looks like he's going to tack back onto these two. So then, Nichols slides through. But Barry Stanley at 31 must be wondering what he's got to do with these youngsters.
Yes, he's an old man, but he's got a new lease of life now. He's come back from the 250 class. There he is, number 4, Barry Stanley from Swadlincote, Burton-on-Trent. So Alex Bedford country then now to ride 125s down there. Stuart Nichols is the man here. Stuart from Boston, Lincolnshire. And Jamie Robinson back from his little detour. He's had his cup of tea and a sandwich, had the quick shower, back on the racetrack, and he is catching these fellas as if they were standing still. This is remarkable stuff in so many ways, Keith.
Well, the thing is as well, he's now got someone to aim at, whereas before Hodgson off the front was a little bit too far away for him to get into touch with. Now he's got these two guys in second and third place to really get to grips with, and I think this is it.
True. Well, we expect Robinson to climb higher as we get into the closing stages. And this is an interesting point, this bit to aim at, isn't it, Keith? Because going back to Grand Prix and looking how young Barros on the Kajiva found himself leading the 500 race of the Dutch TT, but nobody to set the pace for him.
No, he actually went slower once he got in front than he did when he was chasing people, and I expect that's going to be the case of Robinson. They always need to be dragged on, to be dragged out and get quicker and quicker. Don't need much encouragement for that, I have to be said.
Does that give even more credit to Neil Hodgson? Well, and let's just interrupt you there, Keith, because Mr. Robinson back up into third place now, having disposed of Barry Stanley. Now he's got just Stuart Nichols and this man, or the man ahead of that, Neil Hodgson, to overtake. Is it even more credit to Hodgson?
Yes, in my view, to pick you back up on that. I think Hodgson's rode a storming race at the front of this. He's controlled the whole of the race from the front, and his pace is quick enough to just keep him that little bit in front of the pursuing three. And really, you wouldn't want to get involved in that anyway, would you? And
Robinson, just cool, calm and confident. The confidence does come out, but he's got those sort of angelic schoolboy looks. He really should be in some sort of choir, not riding these nasty, noisy motorbikes.
But they're dragging back now on Hodgson. Hodgson is slipping back into this melee for second, third and fourth place. So Hodgson, if he's not very careful, is going to find himself, well, at least part of this particular fight.
I think Dad, Mark Hodgson, will be out there with the boards. He'll be well informed, and Neil, perhaps he can go quicker. But there's another point as Robinson levels on the inside there. Looked as though he was about to challenge Stuart Nichols. It is difficult, we were saying before, it is difficult though to go quicker once you've eased off from a quick pace, isn't it, Keith?
Yeah, concentration is where it's all about, and that's something that you gain with experiences. And Robinson's looking at the inside line, and he's through. So Robinson then goes through into second place. Now then he's got a bit of still air in front of him. Can he catch race leader Hodgson? He's looking slightly ragged, I have to say, but he is on the track.
Well, you count the winners when the checkered flag goes out, and you don't say he won, but he rode raggedly. He won. That's the story. But talking about the boy Robinson again, and we are our chance to see Robinson winding up the wick, Keith.
Yeah, he's just slid inside Nichols there, slid inside number 30 Nichols. 56 Robinson gets it absolutely spot on at the end of the back straight, the fastest part of the course. Really a very, very well judged manoeuvre, and here he is now right on the tail of Hodgson. So Robinson, he knows what he's got to do, and he knows who he's got to do it to.
Well, wouldn't this be remarkable if Jamie Robinson, 16 years of age, who has only recently gone into national class racing after doing the MCN Super Team for half a year last year. He was thinking of doing Super Sport racing this year, Keith, but the 125 Championship has an under-21 title built in it, and most people advised him to do proper racing bikes.
Well, I certainly would advise that. Proper racing bikes are what it's all about. 125, 250, 500 leads you straight into the Grand Prix, and that's where we want to see our youngsters. And look at this, Nichols looking for the inside on Robinson, but Robinson really very close now to race leader Hodgson. So Robinson looking for the challenge in the closing stages of this 125 race, and he really is superb.
Well, a remarkable race, and Hodgson has been caught by this trio, and caught in particular by Jamie Robinson. Robinson winding himself up for an attack. Jamie Robinson can smell victory, a chance to win not just any old national race, but a round of the MCN Super Cup race, the best competition on the domestic scene, and Robinson is winding himself up. Surely Hodgson knows he's there, and he does now, even if he's not seen the pit board. Oh, that must have been something like a nightmare. And Hodgson desperately trying to shake Jamie Robinson out of his slipstream. I don't think Jamie Robinson even worries about slipstream, does he?
No, but this is where it counts, the run up to the back straight, through this long, long double right-hander, a little short straight, then we've got the next right-hander, and that's where it counts. But Robinson's outbraked himself twice here. Let's hope he doesn't do it wrong this time. No, he's got it spot on dead right. No, he hasn't. Oh, dear me. Well, that goes to show you how much I know from 125 racing. Onto the back straight. Robinson has lost the toe on Hodgson, so Hodgson may well hold it for yet another lap.
And Stuart Nichols, number 30, Barry Snett. Oh, there's a faller. That's Lee Dickinson, another one of my local lads from Chesterfield in Derbyshire. Poor old Lee, just 18 years of age. Not one of the... Oh, and this is how he went down the back end. Just let go in a big way. Well, one of the new kids on the block who's not doing too well today, Keith.
No, but at least he managed to land on the soft stuff. Well, there he is, strutting off into the middle distance, completely unhappy with himself.
Yes, it's a little bit like a hue and huff. I've seen one or two of them. No doubt the boy will go and kick the dog and beat up the girlfriend. There are the leaders, so we take up the battle once again with Hodgson still out in front, and this trio chasing hard, and Robinson has come back magnificently, but he's dragging along with him. Stuart Nichols and Barry Stanley, they are all together. This race is not over yet by any manner of means.
No, definitely not. Hodgson knows what he's got to do, but it's always difficult at the front. You don't really know where the challenge is going to come from. It's certainly going to come from Robinson at some stage. Robinson is going backwards and forwards between the first and third place men at will almost. He makes a mistake, he drops back a bit, he gets it right, he comes right up to Hodgson. So really, I think it's going to be a case of Robinson challenging at some stage.
We saw Hodgson doing the old weaving across the track, and I just break off because there goes Robinson closing. Oh, and he drifts wide. He's using all the track and a little bit more. Coming back to Hodgson, doing the weaving about on the straight. He's obviously seen the quick guys do it on the 750s. Does it work on a 125?
It works more on a 125 than it does on the big bike, because basically slipstreaming is all as far as 125s are concerned. If you can get in the still air behind the rider that's leading you, then you get that extra little bit to get alongside him onto the braking area at the end of the straight. It's critical in 125 racing, and certainly Robinson there was trying to get onto Hodgson, but Hodgson was trying to shake him out of that slipstream.
So Neil Hodgson, who started racing in 1990, a former off-road competitor, and we've got quite a few of them coming up through the ranks. Dear, they're all over the track there. Stuart Nichols is desperate to get past Jamie Robinson again. I'm sure Nichols feels that this race is in his grasp.
I think all four of these riders feel that, and it's all going to be down to the last lap and who's positioned perfectly for that last lap. So then, Hodgson leads over the line yet again. Robinson is much closer this time now. If Robinson can just get his braking spot on right onto the back straight, he will be much happier. While we look back...
Well, it's a little bit like the M1 on a bad Sunday afternoon. There was a lot of pushing and shoving there, wasn't there? So battles all the way around the field. This is the final lap.
And then Robinson got a mistake again onto the back straight. Now that's going to be big problems for Robinson. He made a mess of that turn onto the straight, so Nichols is going to get his opportunity perhaps to get by him. We'll have to wait and see at the end of the straight.
And well, of course, Robinson is just a shrimp of a character. Does the difference in weight make any difference, Keith?
Absolutely, that makes a lot of difference. 125 racing is all about very, very slight differences, and is critical. Power to weight, of course. We're looking at the fourth place man, Barry Stanley. He's not going to be on for it, but Nichols is trying for the second place.
And trying, he is. But Robinson is equal to every move that Stuart Nichols makes. I think we can say that Hodgson is going to make it. And here comes Nichols winding himself up to go round the outside.
Well, down into the S's. Is he going to make it into Russell chicane? No, he's not. So Robinson, but a mistake there from Robinson, but he's managed to balk third place man Nichols, and Barry Stanley can only watch at the back.
And the charge onto the line, and there goes Hodgson meandering his way down the start and finish straight. It's going to be Hodgson with victory, Jamie Robinson, then Stuart Nichols, and in fourth place is Barry Stanley. So Neil Hodgson, in just his third full season of racing, beats Jamie Robinson in just his second season of racing. 12 months of activity. These guys are truly remarkable, and well, what can you say? Maybe these are the Barry Sheen of the future. Maybe these are guys who are going to do it for Britain in the years to come.
In the end, just about half a second between Neil Hodgson and Jamie Robinson after almost 19 minutes flat-out racing, with the first four streets ahead of the rest of the field. Overall, Mick Loftus, who finished 9th, still leads the championship. Barry Stanley now 2nd, Neil Hodgson 3rd, Jamie Robinson 5th. Neil, congratulations, a hell of a race. What was it like from your point of view?
Well, I watched my dad's pit board, and it said I had 3 seconds lead. So I relaxed a little bit, then it went down to 2 seconds, and then no seconds. I couldn't believe it. I looked over my shoulder and I saw this young hooligan behind me. I thought, oh, I've got to beat him. and a brilliant race.
Well, this young hooligan made a very big effort of getting up there to catch him. Not quite made it.
No, I really gave it a try on that last lap, but I made like a little mistake and he was gone. I just couldn't close it on the last lap, so it was just a dive for the line for me second.
Yeah, the battle for second, third and fourth was a good one. It looked at one stage as if you'd blown it.
Yeah, I was second and trying to close on Neil, and Stuart came past, and then I outbraked him and outbraked myself really, nearly into a field, so I had to start again then and head my way back. But brilliant race.
Neil, you're leading the way with the teenagers. You've got a wild card for the 125 Grand Prix. Roger Burnett's keeping an eye on you. It's all coming very quick and fast, isn't it?
Yeah, every weekend there's something new coming on. But you don't turn anything away, do you? I'd like to thank Roger for a lot. He's done so much for me, you know, improved my riding, and I'd like to thank Steve Thompson, my tuner, because around here it's such a fast circuit, you need a fast bike, and the bike was flying.
Well, I mean, it really has happened very fast for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, I can't believe it myself. I really can't.
So you were an guy 22 in this contest, but it was some race.
Yeah, it was an excellent race. Neil happened to get away for starters, and then Jamie made a mistake. I was able to catch up to Neil, and then Jamie got past, and it was a good race. Fully enjoyed it. Barry Stanley was there in fourth, just trying to keep him off. So it was a hot pace. I've just heard I got the lap record, so
Lap record as well, good.
Yeah, pleased about that.
Well, consolation then.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, it's back to the big time next. The second race in the 750cc championship. Can they catch the Kawasaki's after the break?